All right, let's dive into one of the most talked about tools in the creative space right now, Leonardo AI. And we're not just going to look at a list of features. Nope, we're going to break this thing down based on what really matters, what actual users are saying about it. I mean, let's be real. The market is absolutely flooded with AI art generators, right? It feels like a new one pops up every week. So it's tough to know which ones are just hype and which ones, well, which ones actually deliver. That brings us to the big question for today. Is Leonardo AI just another face in the crowd, or is it a genuine game changer for creators? Let's find out.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll cover the basics. What even is Leonardo AI? Then we'll get into the juicy stuff, the user verdict, the good and the bad. After that, we'll see how it stacks up against the competition, and wrap it all up by helping you figure out if this is the right tool for your workflow. All right, first things first. Before we can really get into what people love and what they don't, we gotta be on the same page. We need a clear picture of what we're even talking about. So what exactly is Leonardo AI?
Well, at its core, it's positioned as this comprehensive toolkit. It's designed to really spark originality and push innovation in all sorts of creative industries. And they're not kidding about the range here. We're talking everything from game assets and graphic design to marketing and even architecture. It's built to be a bit of a Swiss Army knife. So the whole platform really rests on three main pillars. You've got image generation, which is probably what you've heard the most about. Then there's the AI canvas, which is pretty cool. It lets you get in there and edit and tweak things with a ton of control. And for all you 3D artists out there, they've even got a 3D texture generation feature.
But who is actually using this thing day to day? Well, if you look at the user data, it's pretty much who you'd expect. The biggest group? Creative and design pros. No surprise there. Right behind them, you've got people in marketing and then a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners who are trying to create their own assets without hiring a huge team.
Okay, and now for the part you've been waiting for, the user verdict. Let's kick things off with the good stuff. What do people absolutely love about Leonardo AI?
And wow, the overall feeling out there is just incredibly positive. Looking at the ratings, both ease of use and value for money are sitting at a massive 4.8 out of 5. That's huge. Even customer service, which is often a sore spot for software, pulls in a really solid 4.4. I mean, the numbers don't lie. People are, for the most part, really happy with it.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to this quote from Diana B., who's a founder in the software industry. She calls it, and I'm quoting here, the best publicly available AI image generation tool. That is some seriously high praise, especially coming from someone who has seen what else is out there.
So what's behind that praise? What are the specifics? Well, a few key things pop up again and again in reviews. First, the image quality. People rave about how high quality and realistic the images are. A big part of that is how well it handles rendering people. With fewer of those creepy six-fingered hands that you see from other AIs. But it's not just about quality. Users also love the generous free version, the fact that you get commercial usage rights, and, this is a big one, the ability to create consistent characters from one image to the next. Yeah, let's just park on that free version for a second because this is a huge deal for so many people. You get 150 free credits to generate images, and that's not for a week or a month, that's every single day. They refresh every 24 hours. That's not some stingy one-time trial. It means you can experiment and play around a ton without ever pulling out your wallet. All right, but let's be real, no tool is perfect. So to get the full picture, we have to look at the other side of the coin. Where does Leonardo AI fall short? What are the common complaints people have? And here's the crucial thing that a lot of users point out. Leonardo AI is incredibly powerful for sure, but it's not a magic button. You can't just type in a sentence and expect a masterpiece to pop out ready to go every single time. It still takes work. Remember Diana B., the one who called it the best tool available? Well, she also gives us a dose of reality. She says you'll probably still need to bring your images into something like Photoshop to clean things up. The AI can still spit out some weird stuff. Extra arms, wonky eyeballs, strange objects in the background that you'll have to fix yourself.
And user feedback also points to a pretty clear split in what the tool is good at right now. The image generation, people say it's the best I have seen. But the video generation feature, not so much. The consensus is that it still needs a lot of improvement, with users complaining that the videos often get distorted. So it's really a tale of two different features at the moment.
A few other frustrations pop up in the reviews too. Some of the really powerful next-level features are behind a paywall, which can be a bummer. People also mention running into limits on file sizes for uploads and downloads. And there are a couple of user experience gripes, like wishing for a better way to search for model examples, and finding that the Canvas editor can be a little bit inconsistent.
Okay, so we've got a handle on its strengths and weaknesses, on its own. But how does it really measure up when you put it side by side with the competition? Let's dig into that.
I love this next quote because it's a direct head-to-head comparison. Ruman B, a designer, says they actually switched from another tool, Night Cafe, and the reason why is pretty clear. They found Leonardo produces more realistic, photo-like images, and here it is again, it's just much, much better at drawing people without those weird extra fingers. That's a huge selling point.
And there's data to back this up. When you look at the head-to-head comparison with its biggest alternative, Leonardo just edges it out on ease of use. Now, that difference between a 4.8 and a 4.6 might seem small, but trust me, when you're using a tool every single day, that little bit of extra smoothness in the workflow can make a world of difference.
And of course, Leonardo isn't the only game in town. The market is packed. You've got tools with one-time fees, you've got cheap monthly subscriptions, and then you have the 800-pound gorilla in the room, Adobe, with both its Firefly tool and the whole Creative Cloud suite. So this just gives you a little snapshot of the crowded and varied pricing landscape that Leonardo is up against.
All right, we've looked at what the tool is, we've heard what people love, we've gone over the flaws, and we've seen how it compares to the competition. So that all leads up to the big finale, the most important question. Is Leonardo AI the right tool for you?
So, if we boil it all down, the user reviews point to a pretty clear answer. Leonardo AI is probably a fantastic fit for you if you're a creative professional who needs to whip up concepts and ideas really fast. It's a great fit if you care way more about high-quality still images than you do about video, and if you want a super generous free tier, need to create consistent characters for your projects, and you love having tons of control and settings to play with, then yeah, this is probably the tool for you.
But on the other hand, you might want to look somewhere else if your #1 priority is high-quality AI video. Users are clear, it's just not there yet. Also, if you're looking for a one-and-done solution that spits out perfect images needing zero cleanup, this probably isn't it. And finally, if it really bugs you when the newest, coolest features are only available to paying subscribers, well, that's definitely something to keep in mind.
So, what's the final verdict? Leonardo AI is, without a doubt, a top-tier image generator. It gives creatives incredible power, but it still needs that human touch to really guide it to perfection. And that kind of leaves us with a bigger, more philosophical question to chew on, doesn't it? As these tools just keep getting better and better, what is the new role of the artist in all of this? Is it all about becoming a master of prompts, a curator of ideas, or something else entirely? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.